And hello there on this bright, beautiful, sunshiny day. My name is Tony. I'm here to welcome you to Coolest Life. We are here at First Christian Church here in Yuma, Arizona, and it looks like this building. It's a great big building. I think the main entrance is actually that way. So we're gonna go inside here, let's take a look around and show you some of the different things they have here. Maybe they got a coffee bar, maybe see what kind of things that they do here at this church. Show you a little bit about the facility, maybe, and then show you some about definitely the service, a little bit of the service and the music. So come along with us, because you just entered the Coolest Life Church Edition. So this is the main entryway. I like it. It must have a school here or something. Just the way it's designed, I would think it's a school. Got a place set up for Christmas pictures. Still got a little bit of a bar. A youth ministry up that way. Huh, nice big area. I actually think this is the back of the church, but I'm gonna find out here in a minute. Woohoo, bookstore, nice. I like bookstores. And coffee and donut bar up that way. And this is actually the front side of the church. I thought I could show around here. Looks a lot like the back, actually. Don't like there's a real main entrance, but definitely there's a school involved here with the size of this church that they have. Let's go ahead and go inside. But the main entrance down there, we just showed you. That's the big room here. What size? Looking forward to service.
This is the faith that they had. Take example from them. But that Hebrews chapter 11 isn't just an example of faithfulness of God's people. It's also a message of God's faithfulness. That's your second blank. God asks us to remember because He remembers. God always remembers His covenant with us, always remembers His promise. When He says something, He always comes through. And when we say that God remembers, that's not to say that He forgets or He can forget. When we say that God remembers, it's more of a statement of affirming His faithfulness. That He always says what He will, always does what He says He will do. We may get weak, we may falter, our hearts may turn away, but God's heart does not. He's always focused on accomplishing and doing for His people what He said He is going to do. God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and thus I am to be remembered throughout all generations. Go and gather the elders of Israel together and say to them, the Lord, the God of your fathers, God of Abraham, Isaac, and the God of Jacob, who keeps reminding them they had gone weak. They had forgotten the promises of God. So God was reminding them. He was saying to Israel in their time of darkness, remember what I did through your forefathers. What I promised to do, I will do. Don't forget it. I will be faithful. And we know how the story ends. God delivered them, brought them out of Egypt. For example, in Joshua, when God's people are getting ready to enter into the promised land, and God acts in a mighty way again and separates the water and allows them to cross on dry land. And right after they go through, God tells them, He instructs them, take 12 of you, one from each tribe. Everybody's to grab a stone from the river and set up a stone pile so that you will remember, so that when the people that come after you see that, they will ask, well, what's this pile of stones doing here? You can tell them, well, let me tell you what that pile of stones is doing there. This pile of stones is there to remember that when God brought us into the land, that He promised us that He did this mighty work, and it's this testament to His faithfulness, and that when He says He's going to do something, he does something. The stones weren't there as a way, they weren't there to worship. They were there to trigger their memory. This is what God did among us. And God gave the early church, that should jog our memories. That should cause us to think about certain things. I talked about this earlier. He gave us the communion. When we come together, we share the communion together, the body and the blood of Christ. Those are ways of remembering what God has done, God's saving work in our life. And how this is going to turn out for any kind of good, we can still hope because we have the promise. We have the promises of God. And we can discipline, when we're in those moments of life, we can discipline ourselves. And that's exactly what this remembering we're talking is. It is a spiritual discipline. It is something that we can develop. It's a habit that we can get better at. We can develop this habit of remembering the works of God. We can remember what He did in the past when we're in those times as a way of giving us hope and courage for the future. Post-it notes. On that table, on the north exit, there is also some of these. Going out this way, on the high tables, there are stones and there are brightly colored note cards with pens and Sharpies there. I want to encourage you to think of just come up with one memory, one thing that you remember that God did in your life or in the life of your family this year. Now, some of you can automatically just come up with a whole list of them, and that's great. That's awesome. We should all be able to do that.
The grace and the mercy that we have because this wonderful act. So now as we continue our worship, let's hold the elements. Let's remember as we come to the altar.
His arms are open wide. Forgiveness was born with the precious blood of Jesus Christ.
Well, that was another good service. I like they got the rock thing, so you could basically put one of your blessings that you had for the 2024 in this case, and put a rock. In fact, in our bulletin, it gave us instructions about putting it either at your work or at your home or someplace like that.
You'll see it and remember.
Yes, inside or outside, so you kind of reminded that blessing that you had in 2024, even if you want to make a list. But it's kind of neat, different message. We had communion. Didn't have any baptismals today. They did have a baptismal right there to the right of the stage. I don't think I got a picture of that, but it was good time. I think we enjoyed it. Got a problem coming back here? Nope, not at all. Not at all. I always like to say that sometimes, just to kind of pull ourselves and keep us grounded. Yeah, we don't have a problem coming back to this church at all. Didn't have a whole lot of surprises. I don't think. No, not really. It was pretty traditional for what we're used to, I should say. But had a good time. Was well received, and on our way out, we got a chance to talk with the pastor. He's actually a missions pastor, the one that gave the message. He's not actually the lead pastor, but he definitely did a good job. He says he only does it like once a quarter, and the lead pastor does it other 3 times of the month. But anyway, I'll let you go. Be sure to like and subscribe, because we're going to get out here living church edition.